Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Now, the greatest story never told with Miles and Thrill.
Albacholos, and welcome to episode 7 of the greatest story never told.
I'm honestly just listening to this intro. Do we have Danny Elfman write this? I feel like it's right. Doesn't it sound like a Tim Burton movie?
Yeah. What the hell did we talk about last time? Last time was the Thanksgiving thing, right?
Last time, what happened was this, all right? So whatever the case was, I cleaned out my garage. I found a bunch of CDs that we, quote-unquote, stole, commandeered from our last place of business, all right? That said, we do not remember anything on these CDs. We took them out of spite. We did not want our old company to have best ups. But I found them, and I brought them in, and all of the segments are labeled, but neither you nor I can remember the segments.
Well, yeah.
Because it's been a long time.
We did the interview at the time.
But
like
when we read
else.
the segments out loud, we said maybe we should listen before. And as an example, one was like, Gay Boy Scout, why do you hate immigrants? I mean, there's some things where
Or why do you hate white people? Remember that show?
I remember that. And
We
they
got
told
taken
us
off
not
the
to
air
do
for
it,
that.
yeah. We did. We seriously got suspended.
Yeah, that was our question today. Why do you hate white people?
And the only people that called were white people.
But it was tongue-in-cheek. It was like, like yogurt. Exactly.
Right.
I hate yoga. Things that go yo. But anyway, so we get these CDs, and Mike, I guess you've taken the time to listen to a couple of the actual interviews that we did back in the day.
Correct. I took a road trip down to Oregon over the Thanksgiving break, and I took a handful of these CDs with me, and they work in my CD player, and I listened to them on the way down.
I will say this. I got a text from Mike. All right, so we left last week when we cut the podcast, and Mike said, you know what, man, I'm going to listen to some of these CDs. I didn't give it another thought. A couple hours later, this is the only thing my text says. It says, from Mike Hawk, and it says, Jesus Christ, man. That was the entire text.
Pretty crazy. So, but there's a lot of good stuff on there, a lot of good interviews. We're going to go through them, but one that is very memorable, except for us, in what exactly transpired, is the fact that we interviewed a guy who was like a grand wizard or whatever of the KKK.
I don't remember the interview so much, but to set I do remember the time. All right, so at the time we're back in Baltimore, and these guys, like I said, they're incompetent and they're stupid. I'm not being mean. That's just the truth of it. So they worried about everything that we do, and I've said this to Miles before. You got to look at it like this: we're like that band that's getting old, and you go, man, they're not as hard hitting as they were back in the day. So you start off as like a punk band, because we didn't care. And we wanted to get stuff done. And then as you get older and smarter about what we do as our art form, you try to get better at it, okay? But it was a little more loosey-goosey back then. But the bosses at the time, we said, look, we got an interview with the Klan. This is day of.
Well, we saw that they were coming to town.
They were going up the road, but like 40 miles away.
We wanted to interview, and they were doing a press release. So why not talk to them?
Our bosses were freaking out about it. I think they misunderstood. They thought we were going to go. No. They thought we were going to go on confrontationally. And what bugged me about that is, if you have a problem with someone who's confrontational with the KKK, I personally need to reevaluate where I work. That was my first thing. But that said, we're not going into this confrontational. We quietly were hedging our bets. So this was our belief, right? I'm going to interview this guy. But based on my voice, because everyone has a stereotype, my money says this guy doesn't know I'm black, so we can get him to just be honest
at the time
about his garbage.
This is before a lot of social media and all that stuff. And, there was one picture of us on the Live 105.7 website.
And we just had to hope if he didn't see that, there's no other way to know.
But it did not say who is who. So there's a picture of me and Steve.
Sure.
But it doesn't say who the members. This is really, really early on, like on the internet. Like they have one small picture of us, so no one knew what we looked like.
But we hedged our bets, which is simply this. Because Miles kept saying, man, if he goes to the website to do due diligence before he do an interview, he's going to know what's going on. And we hedged our bets, and I said, right, but if you're a member of the Klan, my money says you don't do a whole lot of research, right?
So,
like, intellectualism is not part of your DNA.
But our argument was, we are not going to attack this guy. We're just going to try to figure out what they are about.
And let him state his case.
And this is way before Facebook, or this is way before social media, where it's like it's okay to be a white supremacist. Like then, it was not.
It's only been the last 3 years. This is still new.
I know
for it to be okay.
But even our bosses at the time were like, absolutely not, because this is not okay. And then Charlottesville happened, and then all these things happened, and now people are like, oh well, okay, Cape's off. Then Cape was on.
Right. Back then, you were still a coward and you hid your face, right? And we knew that. But the bosses didn't want us to do it. They forbade us from doing it. And so we gave it a lot of thought, and we decided to do it anyway.
We're going to do it anyway.
I remember that much.
So this episode is called, if I'm recalling correctly, OKKK.
No. Listen.
Okay.
No, these are the conversations we have.
K.
Miles said, "Look, man, we can't have it that when you look on
You
whatever
can't
website
look at the
it's
thing
on,
and say like
it says
KKK.
So I said, how about OK, ... K, ... K. I don't know how that gets spliced up, but I think that's look. In the end, it's just this: we talked to a guy from the Klan. He got to speak his piece.
Sure.
And look, they got to share their position in the world. I want you to remember something in this current political climate we have. Right? Everyone's angry about everything. Good effing for you. At least at this time, we are actually the good guys here. We allow you to speak your piece. We don't have to agree. And if you think I'm stupid enough to agree with these clowns, well, then we have an issue. But we just let the guy say his piece. If he came off as sounding stupid, it might be because the organization is full of idiots. I don't know. But we did nothing to shut him up.
There's nothing cool about having KKK up there. Matter of fact, we were in Seattle when Felix Hernandez was on a roll, and they would have Felix nights. They would put up the number of strikeouts they had designated by a K.
Why is it a K? Why can't it say S-O? Look, as a black guy, I turned on the game.
Didn't matter.
I turned on the game. It's just the Mariners.
It didn't matter.
I get he's doing this thing, but when I see on my screen, he's had 3 strikeouts or they want me to leave.
That's the problem. He needs to get a 4th strikeout quickly in this scenario.
Get 2 or less, 4 or more. Right. You can't just get 3,
But that awkward time in between when 3 Ks are hanging up there, you go, oh, my God. So, and I'm losing my voice because I'm sick. So we have not heard this interview since we originally did it. We did not go back at that time and listen to our stuff.
No, we remember how much trouble it was to get it on. And when I say trouble to get it on, you have to understand they told us not to, so we did anyway. And this is another one of those interviews where we had to lock the door.
Okay,
we told them I do remember we told them we won't do it because you guys are so uncomfortable, right? But listen, man, we had a good feeling about this. This is honest to God truth. So a guy named Dave Labrosi, we've brought him up before, and he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but he was really panicking about this. I said, Dave, we're not going to do it, man. Relax. You guys are right. We start the show. The studio door gets locked, and we're going to do what the hell we want to do.
I'll paint this guy's picture real quick. This is a guy that thought that it mattered more about what his suit looked like than his intelligence level in the radio industry.
Yes.
So as long as he looked good, he thought that would appear to be smart. So
but
he's
he
like
didn't even look good.
No, he looked like crap.
None of it fitted right.
All right, believe this. He looked like shit all the time, but he wore a suit, so that made him think that he was smart.
Yes.
Which is just, he still does. So it's still working for him. It's just really expensive to try to feel that smart.
It's a lot of money to spend to be stupid.
So without further ado, let's roll this, and we will listen with you. And we will
keep in mind, we have not heard this before now. So,
ladies and gentlemen, what's this guy's name again, Mike?
His name was.
Don't act like you don't know.
Dang it! It's at the beginning.
He used to be your Boy Scout troop leader. Okay, so here you go. This is us way back in the day.
Gordon Young.
With Gordon Young and the KKK.
Now the moment you've been waiting for. Gordon Young, Imperial Wizard for the World Knights of the Hagerstown KKK, joining us on Out to Lunch. And I'm going to stay out of this one, okay, Steve? It's all you.
God,
we're going to have fun. I'm talking about the big festival, the children I want to bring. And we bring them onto our airwaves right now. We have our brother from the Ku Klux Klan. There's a big rally coming up in Sharpsburg on August 28th, a 4-hour rally, I believe. I got that straight. And we bring in our very good friend, Mr. Gordon Young. Gordon Young, do we have you on our airwaves, sir?
Yes, you do.
It is a privilege to have you on our airwaves, sir. And I assume I got the date right, August 28th, Sharpsburg.
You dumb
That's right.
And what time? I know it's a 4-hour rally. What time would that begin?
Kickoff starts at 1 o'clock. That's the march itself.
Did you say kickoff?
The demonstration rally itself.
White people kick, Steve.
March will continue until 4:30 that afternoon.
Now, I understand you expect about 100 people to show up, and it's something that I would like to actually come to myself. But I do have 2 children I need to know, and I don't mind my children hearing the message. I think it's something that they do need to hear. But if I do bring my kids, are there activities that my children basically can engage in? You know, if I went to a regular rally or festival.
Keep in mind, you did not have children.
I know, I didn't.
You now have 2 children.
You know what,
continue,
man? No,
Mike,
it felt
continue,
weird
Mike.
when I heard, like, I don't
Continue.
have 2 kids.
Just continue.
I like how you tossed in like the really deep South accent.
We are
man.
breaking in. We're breaking in on this all the time because again, we have not heard this. Keep in mind, Steve had no children. Now he has 2. Continue.
Well, this isn't no circus. You're not going to have clowns. You're not going to have merry-go-rounds and Ferris
people
wheels
dressed
and all
like
that.
ghosts.
This is a message to be sent out to our white Americans to wake up and realize what's going on around them.
You know,
So, yes, you can bring your kids. I'm sure they would like to know if they're old enough to understand what's going on.
oh, they're 8 and 6 years old. They're old enough to know. They're 8 and 6 years old. I think this is the time they need to know. You know, I got Bobby and Jessica. Bobby's 8 years old. Bobby is starting the 1st grade next year.
Oh, my God.
And I want Bobby to kind of hear this message, not just from me. I want him to see me, myself, and other brothers like ourselves standing out there spreading this message so when he gets to school, he knows who's to make friends with and who not to make friends with. But I think to be fair, and the reason we want you on our airwaves today is I get a little tired of the liberal media always misquoting what our mission is and what it is that we stand for, and I'd like you, as the Imperial Wizard, to take the time to at least clear it up and let people know we are separatists. Is this correct?
Yes.
We are separatists. We are not bigots, as they call us, always calling us bigots. We are separatists. We simply want our country back to the people that established this country, the pure white race. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Absolutely. And would you encourage people to bring their children to the rally?
If they please, yes. If they want to, they can. If they feel like they're endangered or the word Klan scares them, then I wouldn't encourage it. But you can't be scared of something that you really don't know from the past of the Klan.
That is exactly it.
You can't be scared of something you don't know. You ignorant son of a bitch. I did more research on the Klan than this mother effer knew about his own organization. A buddy of mine used to do amateur movies, right? Low-budget movies. And one of the things he was going to do was on white supremacists. So he had subscribed to the Klan, at least this is what he tells me, but we got a bunch of literature, and I did a bunch of research on this. So I do remember talking to this chump, and he kept talking about what people do or do not know. And it's like, one, I know more about your organization than you know about your own organization, you dumb mother.
Hey, guess what? This does not go into the world of hating black people. Continue this thing. I remember that specifically.
Yeah.
That is exactly it.
Today's Klan is a whole different ballgame. We have brand new enemies.
Who were some of the enemies that you were living? Now, I mean, clearly the black folk, and they've taken over all the major cities and spreading like a wildfire, but we're down with that. Who would you also say are some of the enemies that we're dealing with now?
Our number one enemy is the government, which is Jewish-run. We're living, and they're trying to make us live in a communist world.
It's not just government; it's those movies too. You know, and they try to say it's not it's government and the movies.
The Jewish population and the Jewish government pushes this and promotes all this pornography, all this homosexuality, all this stuff that's not good for our children's eyes or ears.
Thank you. I've been saying, people tell me that I'm wrong. They say that I don't open my mind, and I try to tell them as a Christian American, I'm saying it the way it's been written in the Bible. Am I right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, and this is the question I know, and I'll tell you now, I do have lots of friends in Sharpsburg, and that's why I'm thinking about bringing the kids up. We got some family up there. They'll be comfortable. But what I want to know, why don't we finally take the time as the KKK to finally go into the big cities? And I understand there might be protests. We can deal with we should go into the big cities. Think about a city like Los Angeles, because I bet you the LAPD is on our side. And we could go into Los Angeles. Yes,
Jesus.
sir. That's what I reckon. When I watch the news, I know what those boys are up to. I think they're doing the right thing out there.
Exactly.
Now, we have you on the airwaves, and again, we're talking to Gordon Young, the Imperial Wizard from the Ku Klux Klan, and he's spreading the message of the KKK. Again, rally August 28th. It begins at 1 p.m. It's a 4-hour rally. If you could explain to people, what is the ideal separatist strategy?
Take our, to get our land back, as in stop all this immigration, put border control out there, to have our rights. We are becoming the minority, and
it's them Latins.
And the blacks, however you want to call them. I have another name.
No, let's keep it there. We still got to go to the FCC, my friend.
And they're crying about this, they cry about that. We give it to them, and they still cry. We got those immigration laws that are going down. They get free medical. They get all these grants and all that. And us hardworking white Americans can't even get a single signature loan.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Now, Gordon,
it's run by the Jewish government, and the Jewish government is trying to take the white race out. Well, and we need to wake up and rise up and not be scared to speak out and be called bigots and be called racist, because that's not what we are. We're separatists. We want our land back.
Separatists. That's all right now. And when and Gordon, I'm going to tell you right now, when I read your biography, one of the things says your hobbies, and it says unity. My white race is one, shipping all their non-whites back where they came from. Now, I support that. But, Monica, what do we do with the Indians?
The Indians.
Yeah, the Indians. I mean, because they was here. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
So what do we do?
They were here, but we fought, and we took this land.
No, we did take the land, but I'm saying, what do we do with them? Because we can send the blacks back to Africa, send the Latins back to wherever they came from, and all this. But now we got all the Indians.
The Indians are very few. You very seldom even see a so-called 100% Indian running around in the streets or in the little teepees. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
So we're becoming the minority, and we need to take this back. But we took this land from the Indians. As
Mike,
it were.
I'm glad you're following along. Continue.
My God.
Yeah, just go with it.
I hear you.
I mean,
I try not to go to that country too much. I don't like hanging out in that territory too much. Now, what would you say? What's the attire for the rally?
What's the what?
The attire. What kind of dress code do we have for the rally?
Well, I'm not going to be in full robe uniform. Some of my guys will. I will be in military-style uniform. I will be. Some of my guys will be also. Some of my guys will be in robes. So the guys that are with us, other groups and all that, they have their same attire as I do, as a military style or robes.
I'll be there in my fatigues. I don't have the robes, but I got the camo. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Gordon, and I think this is important, and I think it's kind of innovative, and this is one of the things I want to talk to you about. I look around, and all these people out parades, they have the Latin Festival right here in town. They have the Gay Pride Parade right here in town. But you know what bothers me about it? Everybody shows up for the parade, and you know why they show up? Because everybody likes the floats. Everybody likes the parade. What do you say?
That's a good point.
And I think it's a damn fine idea. I really do. And I think for the 21st century, especially, we don't like the way the media portrays us. Now imagine if the KKK basically scheduled a tour across the country, but on this tour, it was an actual parade. We still have our message. We can still talk to our white brothers and sisters, but imagine if we did have a float. Imagine if we did have a parade. Imagine the people that would line the street. Because, Gordon, I want you to think about it this way. If we have a parade with the floats and maybe we have some face painting and other entertainment going on, more people show up, but we can still spread the word, and I bet you your word will hit more people.
Well,
think about it, Gordon. I'm telling you, it's time to reach out. And we got to bring it to them. We got to bring it to them. They're taking everything from us. I think it's time for us to do the parade right.
My voice will be heard across this white land, and I don't need floats. I believe that's a joke and a waste of time and money.
Yeah, but only going to happen in Sharpsburg.
As in activities for children, I agree 100%, but for white children only. Because
well, of course.
The media and the public knows that, yes, we do discriminate.
Is he saying no Papa Shot?
See, now
so
listen,
for white kids
listen.
Only? It's like if you could shoot a basketball, you're out.
Even if you're a member of the Klan, you know I don't like you, right? But, man, I work in media, bro. If you're trying to spread your message, there ain't nothing wrong with the parade and the moon bounce.
We should have that dark game.
What is wrong with the moon bounce?
Pop a balloon into a star.
Dumb son of a bitch.
Well, that's why we have the club.
Say that.
Well, it's like us, and it's like Hootie down there in Augusta sometimes. Listen, I understand that. But again, I'm going to say, hey,
Hootie in Augusta?
I think, we keep doing stuff like Sharpsburg. I think it's time to get bigger. It's time to get better. I mean, hey, we still own Texas. I don't care who lives in Houston. We still own Texas. I don't care who lives in Dallas. They might be there, but who owns it, Gordon? The white race owns it. Am I correct? That is correct. I think the white race owns America. Am I right?
Well, we're supposed to.
But we're supposed. Well, that's why we need to take it back.
We're becoming a minority, and we're being overthrown by the Jewish government and all these other mud races.
Gordon, I agree. That's why I think we need to go to the bigger cities. That's one thing for us to go to Sharpsburg. They're already thinking our way. I'm saying, why don't we go somewhere like Chicago, where they got all them liberal lily livers living up there? Have nothing but bad things to say about. I say we take the message there. Let them know. Yeah. Let your voice be heard there in the major cities, and let that same liberal media cover that. Well, how about that?
This is one of the closest cities.
Come on, candy ass.
Which is Washington, D.C.
You don't have the guts, bitch. Say it.
Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Cleveland ain't that far away.
I'm in the striking distance, and believe me, my message will be hitting across these great lands.
Oh, it's on the airwaves right now, Gordon. It's on the airwaves right. People are feeling it. People are feeling it. Now, where should the white race live? I know for part of the separatist plan, and I've seen it myself, one of the maps that was developed by the KKK.
The research he didn't do.
Well, we discovered New Africa, created New Asia. Could you break that map down for the people listening so they can understand what one of the goals is?
One of our goals?
One of the goals for separatism.
Oh, yeah, to have our own white community, have our own white
called Idaho, bitch.
Colleges, have our own white fundings, have our white month, just like, the blacks do.
But you know what the joke is? We still gave them the shortest month.
When we present this to our Jewish government, that we want these things, we're, again, labeled as racist or bigots. But you have these...
yeah! Dummy! Yeah!
How much is left in this thing?
This thing, honestly, is like a 17-minute interview, man.
Okay.
So we got probably 5 more minutes left.
All right, roll a little bit more.
Militant groups out there that cry and scream about all this.
Cry and scream. Cry and scream. That's all I hear them doing, crying and screaming. All right, I got a few more questions for you, Gordon, because our time is short. We've covered where the white race should live, and I'm hoping we take the South, Gordon. I'm hoping we take the South.
Well, the South, they're being overrun and overthrown by the blacks themselves. All the blacks are moving down south trying to take it over. So, yes, we do need to take the South back, and it will rise again.
Is there a timetable on that? Only because, and I got to be honest with you, my kids keep asking me, they say, you keep saying it. We got the bumper sticker on the truck, and I'm like, son, it'll happen when it happens. But honestly, do we have a timetable on that? Because we got to get it going. We keep talking, Gordon. We keep talking, but we got to do something.
Exactly, and I hear a lot of people talking, and that's why I've stepped up to the plate and taken control.
All right, Gordon, listen, I want to thank you for coming on one more time. Let me make sure I get my information right out there. In Sharpsburg, August 28th, starts at 1 p.m. It goes until 5. It is a rally. Are we also recruiting out there on that day?
Well, yeah, if people are interested, yeah, sure.
And
I'm always recruiting.
Now, what would people need to bring? Do they need to bring ID or anything? Do they just sign up? Let people need to know what they need to bring if they're interested in joining the mighty KKK.
Well, they need to bring their the white self and the white family. They're going to bring the family, ID, and a little time to talk.
All right.
Yep.
Gordon,
I just don't recruit anybody. I do.
Oh no, you got to be picky. You got to be. Don't let anyone infiltrate. Don't let anyone infiltrate. Don't let anyone pull a joke on you. Don't let anyone ever make you part of a hoax. You always keep your eyes open, Gordon.
Exactly. We do not let anybody that race mixes in, and I'm letting the public know this. We don't let anybody that race mixes, or as in laying down with that beast, or that has intermixing friends. We do not allow that. We do not allow drugs. We do not allow drunkards. So if you're planning on joining us up and you have any of those qualifications that we do not want, then don't even bother.
You talk to a drunk black guy.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. I appreciate you spreading the message. I want you're a friend of mine.
Okay.
All right, Gordon, take care.
White power.
Yeah, take care then.
It's amazing that we can't get in based on the fact that the drugs and the drunkards.
That's awesome, man. I forgot about
my Jewish kids kind of F things up too.
Yeah. My kids have some Jewish heritage. It's a shame because
really is.
I really like Gordon.
Yeah, sure.
He seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a guy that has his head in the right place. Listen, that's the first time I've heard that interview since we've done it.
And you might wonder why we play Dixie when we do Profile This. Every time, it's in honor of that guy.
Hey, let's find him on Twitter and make sure he gets a copy of this.
Oh, man, we ran out of time on the incident.
Damn it, man.
I hope you enjoyed episode number 7 there of The Greatest Story Never Told.
Yeah! Woo!
You've been listening to The Greatest Story Never Told with Miles and Thrill on radio.com.
Oh, man! A Double Flush production.